This place is unique. Stories passed down to people through generations.
I explored the tombs of kings, tombs that burnt years ago. What really happened here? Why do these tombs exist on this hill? And what secrets lie beneath this dome that shelters the spirit of Buganda's past?
This time we never cut off their heads like we used to do in the past.
This is not just history. It's mystery, memory, and belief, all wrapped in one of Uganda's most sacred places. But before we go deeper, warning, keep an open mind. Some of what you'll see and hear might challenge your understanding of the world you live in.
The past is the beacon that lights up the future. And Kasubi, we are the beacon bearers.
But most importantly, we're here to protect our kings. Keep them safe. We have to still serve them.
To get here, I ride through the chaos of Kampala, through the stories written on the streets. You know, one of the things that I feel that I can own in this world are the stories. Anywhere I go, I find them and I live with them. That's why I always share my stories to you, so that you can also own them. Today, I'm cycling to Kasubi Tombs, where the kings of Buganda Kingdom, where you find Kampala city, which is located in the central part of the kingdom. So I like to go there and also tour. That's part of the story. But how do I get here? Is through cycling. And to inspire other people out there that you're not supposed to get comfortable with the kind of life that you're in. It's always better for you to move out of your comfort and you explore, you learn more. It's not just a ride, it's a ride through history. If you'd love to enjoy Kampala, always cycle on Sunday, because many people are at home and others maybe have gone to the church, others are out of the city, so it's very better for you and very easier, very safer to cycle on Sundays. Supposed to be more cautious. They don't care. I was supposed to be there earlier, according to how I had organized, but the rain, every November, always, it's raining. I head there, that's the oldest colonial university, Makerere University. So it's also on a hill. I don't know why people always used to love to establish institutions, churches, plus even where we're going, it's also on a hill. Just some few, only 1.7 kilometers. Yeah. I ride to this place to investigate, to find out from the people who live here, the ones who've spent their lives protecting this sacred ground. Welcome to Kasubi Tombs. And before we dig deep, let me first introduce our guide.
My name is Ndoli Fred. I work with Buganda Heritage and Tourism Board. And welcome to Kasubi Royal Tombs. Kasubi is the burial ground for the last 4 kings of Buganda, and it is a World Heritage Site. It's 2001 UNESCO site, and right now we are at the entrance. This is known as Bujabukula, and this was constructed in 1882. Yeah, it has some areas which are original from 1882, like the first 4 black rings up. They are from 1882, and those we make sure they do not fall off. Falling off would mean performing some rituals, and the rituals can be quite expensive. There are 2 hereditary guards in this place. The principal guard is Mlamba, who comes from the Mushroom clan, and his assistant is Nsigo, is from the Buffalo clan. But Nsigo has been here since he was 16, and the old man today is 100 years. I mean, he was born in 1925, he's already 100 years. We use local materials on such houses. The reeds, these come from elephant grass, not bamboo. We also use tree barks. The rings are made out of the palm fronds. If you know the palm trees, the fronds are beaten, we get the fibers. On top it is spear grass. The shape comes from a basket. It looks like an overturned basket. And the temperatures in here are always regulated by the thatch. I mean, when it is cold outside, here it's warm. When it is very hot, here it's cool. So it's the thatch that does this.
Then I meet him, one of the oldest guard of the tombs. The guide explains how in ancient times, kings were never buried intact.
Kasubi is the burial ground for the last 4 kings of Buganda. It is the only place where we buried more than 1 kings. And again, all the kings who are buried here, they are buried intact. This time we never cut off their heads like we used to do in the past. Because in the past we would chop off the head and bury the head separate. But all these 4 here are buried intact.
Wow.
People in the past, our ancestors, believed that the spirits of the kings remained in their jaw bones. And other Buganda, that spirits would walk in straight lines. So right from the main tombs to this guard's court, you can see this road is straight. I mean, there is nothing like an obstacle that can impede the movement of the spirits. And then the story was told to Mutesa I, who established this palace. And then he said, now I know spirits are very stubborn, and this time I beg not to cut off my head for that reason. He was buried intact. Even the 3 that came after him begged to be buried in the same way. So we stopped that. Kasubi is from 1882, and it was a palace. But then the king stayed here for only 2 years, from 1882 to 1884, and it became a burial ground. Since 1884, this is 141 years. Kings were free in the past to go and set up their own palaces on hilltops. It was in 1882 when there was an outbreak of smallpox on Lubaga Hill, and Kabaka Mutesa I decided to shift his palace from Lubaga to this place. Actually, the king is always at the top, and in the past it was that each king was free to go and set up his own palace on a hilltop. The hill is so close to Lake Victoria. In case of invasions, they would be able to escape to the islands. And where the Kabakas stayed, that hill could be turned into the capital of the kingdom. And where we are, it was once a kingdom's capital. It's 2001 UNESCO site, and we see people from all walks of life coming to this unique cultural heritage. When you look at Uganda as a country, it has got 3 World Heritage Sites. Kasubi is culture. Then we have Bwindi Impenetrable Forest, which is nature, and Ndoli Mountain, which is geographical. So for those who want to know a lot about Buganda and Baganda culture, so Kasubi is the best place.
He takes us back to 2010, the night the tombs burned. He recalls how the fire lit the sky red, how the people wept, and how generations of memory were reduced to smoke.
This is my own opinion. It's one of the worst moments in my life, losing an innocent sight like this. The tombs, these are heart of the kingdom of Buganda, and Buganda is the heart of Uganda. Losing Kasubi was something very, very bad. And in terms of tourism, you see, like I said, many people come to see Kasubi, especially those who appreciate culture. That was too much. It happened on 16th March 2010, and we lost the integrity, the authenticity. There are many things that are irreplaceable that we lost that were in the house. For instance, there used to be a stuffed leopard, and that was a pet to Mutesa I. When the king died, this animal, it went wild, people killed it. They had stuffed it, it was in the house, and fire took it away. We had the tonnet chairs from Austria brought in by the missionaries. The lantern, first oil lantern in Uganda from the Netherlands also, and many other artifacts. You know, the problem was that we never documented. When you look at this house, they last worked on it in 1938, 16th March 1938, when Daudi Chwa ordered for its reconstruction. And this has taken us a while. You're going to see inside, the designs are so intricate. Yeah. It has not been an easy work. We thought it would take us about a few years, but it has been a while. UNESCO has done a very good work actually, they have been soliciting the funds that we used to restore Kasubi Tombs. And another thing, our government and the Kingdom of Buganda, Japan has come out on issues of fire mitigation. They have supplied us with, actually they funded this project, the fire project. Already we have the smoke detectors in the house, sprinklers, fire extinguishers, we have hydrants, we have a water tank of about 50,000 liters. We have been having fire drills. Young men and the community, they go through these drills, the fire drills, and they can be able to fight fire in case.
So what lessons can young people today learn from Kasubi Tombs? Because we are losing out. Most of the young people nowadays, they don't, a few of them learn about the history, and some of them are actually disconnected from truly what they are.
The past is the beacon that lights up the future. And Kasubi, we are the beacon bearers. We must protect, we must safeguard our heritage, and probably in future it will help us to write more about our culture. We are preserving. Yeah. So young people of this country, yes, and elsewhere, I actually advise them to make sure that they have to write about our culture and we preserve it. They have to document where necessary.
I think I've also found the reason that's why I've come. Yeah, so he tells us how to behave here.
Yeah, we take shoes off usually when we're here.
No hats inside, no shouting. Respect isn't just a rule, it's a vibration you carry when you step inside these walls.
Yes, this is what I call the masterpiece of human creativity. And you see the designs are so intricate. And this is a place where you find a young man, about 15 years, being taught by an old man who is about 70 or 80 years. So this is how we pass on this. And people are responsible for interior designing when it comes to a traditional house like this one. They must come from the leopard clan. That's their job. Okay. And then roofing or working on the outside, that is the black and white colobus monkey. In my language, it is Ngeye clan. Ngeye clan. So the principle of Thatcher must come from the Ngeye clan. Like a basket, an overturned basket.
baskets.
Yes, when you look at these baskets here,
So what do we use these for?
the baskets are for donations. There are many people come and then donate to the ladies. The women who stay here, they are descendants of the original wives. The king had 84 official wives, Mutesa one, and we still have a number, 84 symbolic widows. This is a place where you find a young woman, let's say, claiming to be a wife of a king who died 141 years ago. Sometimes it's a bit disturbing until you sit down and then she gives you her story. So at the end of the story, you come to realize that she's descendant number 5, right from the original wife. And these people, when they are here, they teach young ones our culture. They perform most of the rituals in the house. And when you find people, it becomes a living monument. So through the ladies, we have managed to safeguard all this heritage. We always sit when we are here, and the internal height here is 9.5 meters. Then the external diameter, it is 31 meters. Only royals of this world, when they're here, they're at home. The royals, they can cross, and sit on the other side, but they do not go beyond the spears. And we have this unique material. It is known as backcloth. This is the oldest fabric in the region, and the knowledge of making it in the kingdom is over 500 years. Buganda, we peel off the bark from the tree. It's a fig tree, and the species is Ficus natalensis. After peeling off the bark, we take it to a beam, a straight beam in a local workshop, and we start malleting. As we pound, the material will expand more than 4 times from the original size. And there we can steam it. When we steam, the color runs from cream to rusty brown. Like you see, it is a strong type of a tree. This tree doesn't die off. Instead, it regenerates. And each time we peel off the bark, we have to go, we get fresh banana leaves and protect the tree from the sun. After 8 months, we have a new one. But the first one is a bit hard. And starting from the second, they are supple. The material in the kingdom served as beddings, as curtains, as
the bedding, as the curtains.
Clothings.
Okay.
We would use it to pay rent as a medium of exchange, part of the dowry, bride price. And when countrymen died, their bodies were wrapped in it. There is a way it embalms or it mummifies the body. And our kings were buried in thousands of these pieces. In 2001 or 2005, it's when UNESCO declared backcloth an intangible heritage and then revitalized its production. We now export this material to countries like Germany. They make car cushions, the seat covers in the Mercedes-Benz and BMW. They make shoes, that's Adidas company. In US, Nike company also makes some very expensive shoes. In Israel, they make a preservative known as fahamadite. It's amazing to see a bark of a tree transforming into a piece of cloth after 8 hours of pounding. Sadly, its consumers may not be able to know the process and the history they hold in their hands, but this is something special. Now, the same material in the house, it serves as a curtain. You see, it gives the house a royal appearance. The first Kabaka to be buried here is Mutesa one, putting on a black cap, who was a Kabaka from 1856 up to 1884, and received the first European explorers in Uganda, John Speke and James Grant, in 1862. These two were in search for the source of River Nile. He was Kabaka number 30 and the last independent monarch, because we have been led by 36 Kabakas. So Kabaka Mutesa, he had another palace today. It's where the Roman Catholics have their cathedral, here in Kampala, which is about 4.2 kilometers, Lubaga Cathedral. And that is where Stanley met him in 1875. Henry Mountain Stanley was a British-American journalist who came to find Dr. David Livingstone. Actually, he was sent by the National Geographic Society in England to find Livingstone dead or alive. He then met him at Ujiji in Tanzania. And when Stanley met Livingstone, he said, Dr. Livingstone, I presume. Very famous slogan. Through Stanley, he came to know more about Western Europe and Christianity. Then he wrote a letter to Queen Victoria on 14th of April, 1875, requesting for the teachers and the missionaries to come and spread Christianity. But he was not a Christian. I told you that he had 84 wives.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, 84 wives. And a friend told him that once you convert to Christianity, one wife is enough. And he was like, oh, this is not good for me. Maybe you can try my people. Yeah, that is Mutesa. In 1882, on Lubaga Hill, there was an outbreak of smallpox. He decided to shift his palace from Lubaga to this place. And this is where he spent 2 years, from 1882 to 1884. When he died, he was laid to rest inside his house. And his son Mwanga, in a white turban, succeeded him, who was a Kabaka from 1884 to 1897, 13 years, and with lots of challenges. It was during his reign when the Christian converts were executed, the Ugandan martyrs. The same Kabaka in 1897, he resisted against the British rule. And it all started in 1894 when Buganda and the rest of Uganda became a British protectorate. This time he had so many questions demanding to know the position of his kingdom in a protectorate. And the British never gave him time to explain all that. He then declared a war against their rule. The war, it lasted for only 2 weeks, of which he lost to the British. Captured in 1899 and exiled to the Seychelles Islands in Indian Ocean, where he died in 1903, and the remains were repatriated in 1910. Actually, when Mwanga's remains were repatriated in 1910, we broke that old tradition of keeping each Kabaka in his own house. So we buried him next to his father. And Daudi became a Kabaka at 1 year and 6 days. When the father lost the war in 1897 to the British, Daudi was made a Kabaka. And he was a baby. Yeah, the chiefs and the British, because this time the father had been stubborn and they needed somebody they could bring up in their own style or mold or manipulate. And Daudi, at 17 years, became the first Kabaka to visit Europe. The boy king in 1913 visited Italy, France, Belgium, the Netherlands, and Britain. He spent 6 months in Europe. When Daudi came back, he married only one wife in the church. And he was the first Kabaka to have a church marriage. You see, the grandfather had so many. And Daudi is David, but we try to localize this name. We call him Daudi. Very progressive, permitted Buganda ladies to start eating chicken and eggs. In the past, that was a taboo. Daudi took girls to school. I mean, he encouraged girl child education in his kingdom. When we look at the first schools in our kingdom, we are mainly boys' schools. Girls had not been given a chance in Buganda. But when he was in Europe, he noticed that education was for all. And then coming home, he encouraged parents to take their daughters to school. Daudi, in 1933, he built Mengo Palace on another hill, about 4.6 kilometers away from here, and died in 1939. The Kabaka died on the course of the Second World War. This time he died of diabetes at 43. He was buried just close to his grandfather. And the last Kabaka is Frederick Edward George William Mutesa II, who was the first president of this country, Uganda. Each king has got a set of his own regalias. And these regalias, among, we have the spears of different shapes. We have the shields and scepters. The scepter, it has that M shape, M-like shape. The scepter, it was an instrument of power that a king would always give to a chief warrior to lead others during the time of war. And then a shield, and a spear that every able-bodied Muganda would possess a spear and a shield in his house. In case the war drum was sounded, they would come out prepared. Apart from the house being a burial ground, it is also a spiritual ground where people come to whisper their wishes. And the ladies' workers are priestless. They try to guide people out to whisper their wishes. Before Christianity, the kings were the heads of the traditional religion. And then they acted as bridges between the people and the Almighty God. And up to now, people come to whisper their wishes. Each king has got a story, and then people, our visitors, they find healers in these kings.
This place is unique. Stories of centuries passed down to people through generations.
Then I meet her, one of the wives of a past king. I'm here with the hair of one of the wives of kings. She tells me her duty here is not just to remember, but to keep the connection alive. She speaks of love, loyalty, and how the role of a king's wife continues even after he disappears.
My name is Buganda Susan, and I'm from the Ngabi clan. Yeah, and I'm wife to King Mutesa II. With our norms here, once you are here, you're no longer allowed to get married.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you'll be here
for the rest of your life.
Okay, that's a good commitment. It's a bit. It appears to be a bit strange. What information do you have for the world out there?
For the world
that we live in here?
I think I would just encourage them to keep our traditions. Yeah, to continue respecting and keep our traditions as they were, because Buganda, where it was, though they say we were not we were backwards, but with us, we see Buganda was better off.
I also believe that.
It was much better off.
So, for how long have you been the wife to the king?
To the king?
Yeah.
7 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's now 7 years. Yeah, though it's more recent, but I succeeded. I'm the heir to my granddie, who was wife to King Mutesa.
So which means from you, the children that you have, what
not
I'm
the children.
Is, how do you become a heir? Because I thought that maybe when the king actually passed on years back, then do you come directly from
I come directly from the lineage of the wife to King Mutesa II. Actually, my great-grandmother was the mother to King Daudichwa. She was wife to King Mwanga.
Okay.
Yeah. So I come directly from that lineage. Yeah. My great-grandmother, she's called Evelyn Kulabako.
Wow.
Yeah, I think you've heard of her.
Yeah, we've heard about her.
Exactly. Wow. So I come directly from her lineage.
So what do you do here always?
Always, what we do, we are here to keep the place clean. Okay. To keep the place clean, we make these mats to make our visitors comfortable. But most importantly, we are here to protect our kings. Keep them safe. We have to still serve them.
Yeah. Her voice carries wisdom. She reminds us that culture isn't just in museums or monuments. It lives in people. When you look up this great canopy, you begin to understand something deeper. Stories, mysteries, and lives of the past were once sheltered here, beneath this masterpiece of human architecture. The way each reed was placed, the time taken, the knowledge passed down through generation. This is not just construction, it's wisdom woven into form. Standing here, you realize we are not so different. We are one, from different places, Yet what unites us are stories. I have cycled, I've visited places, and what I've learned there is truly what I own. And that's why I share them, so that you can also own them too. Because stories are what makes us human. They connect us, they remind us, and they never die. Just like the kings who rest here, their stories live through us. This is Africa. I'm African, and Africa is me, and we are the world united for a common goal of passing down history, what happened years back.